The final thing I want to show you is how to do Git without using this terminal. This can be boring and stressful for a lot of people. Of course, the way I explained it, it should be easy for you. It's just a few commands that you have to learn, and as you use them, you understand them. I will also create a document that gives you some of these things that you can easily go back to and reference whenever you need them. But there are other ways to do Git without using the terminal. So let's close this now. To do that, you can download the desktop GitHub software. So let's do a Google search, GitHub Desktop, and this is what you should see. So I'll click on that, and it shows me that I have available for my OS. I'm on a Mac OS, so you should get for whatever OS you use. You can read through this, but I don't want to, so I'll just download this. I don't have it installed because I usually work with my terminal, and it seems a little heavy, and my internet is saying I would need 3 hours to download this. So I'll pause this video, download it, then show you how to install it. My download is now complete. I am going to open it up. If you're on a Mac computer, this should be the same thing you see. If not, it's basically see the same thing. So you get the GitHub Desktop desktop application that you can just open up. I did a double click to open it up. I'll close this, and this is what I get afterwards after clicking on that. So now it's expecting me to log in. I'm going to minimize this so it doesn't distract us. So it's expecting me to log into my account. If you don't have an account, you can create one here. I believe everyone here should have an account. We are using this, not this. So just click on this. It will open your browser, ask you to approve. Then you say OK. So this is asking if you want to reconfigure your Git, which I already have on my own computer. I don't have to reconfigure. This is the name attached to my Git account. This is my email. And then I can say continue. And basically I just say continue. I would uncheck this, but you can leave it checked. It's good for Git statistics, so I'll leave it checked actually. So finish, and then it opens up every repository in my account. So everything you see here are things that I have access to. It's a lot because I belong to a lot of organizations. This yours might not be this much, but let's open up what we have been working on. Git class. And this is it. I have two, but this is the V1 that we worked on earlier. I'll select it and it says clone this. So what this does is it basically goes to your GitHub account and then clone this particular project you are selecting, or any project you select, clone it onto your machine, but then it's connected to your GitHub installed on your own machine. So you can go through this, you can create a new repository, you can do other things, but I just want to open this up, and then I click on clone this repository. This information will come up, which is what we did earlier. Remember, we did it with our terminal to clone it, and then we can specify the location we want it to be. In this case, I can decide to select my project folder, but I don't want to do that. You can do that. I just don't want to do that because I already have that thing in my project folder. So I'm going to close it. I will leave it just the way it is and say clone. So after opening up the project, this is what you see. You can see our branch here. Branch name is here. The project name is here. And this is an operation you want to perform. Let's just leave this for now. And you see there are a few things there. It says no local changes. Now remember, what we did was to clone this project into a different folder on our system. So don't make the mistake of working with our former folder, because then the changes will not show here. So what I'm going to do is to open up this project from this particular folder using VS Code. So I'll just click here and I say OK, and it will open that up for me. So let's go ahead and close that and say OK here. And this is the project now. So if I make a change here, say I say something like console.table, and just add a update here, same name. Let's just leave that. and I save that. So once I come here, you can see it says there are now changes here, just the same way. So this is just like doing git status here, showing you there's a changed file and you have not committed that file. So if I wanted to commit, or like we've been doing before, I would have had a message here. I'll say updated the index file, added another console. You can add more information here, but that's not necessary for now. And then I can commit that change. So the same thing we've been doing using our terminal. Now that change has been committed, but it has not been pushed. Now it's saying push this change, because even though you've committed it like we've been doing before, it is still just on my local machine. It has not been pushed to the cloud. So let's go ahead and push this. I'll just click on that button, and it says it's pushing, and now it's fetching. Now it is done pushing. So let's go to our repository and see that that has indeed been updated. And you see it says updated, blah blah blah, the things that we said earlier. So this is also another way to work with GitHub. It's very easy to work with. You can create a new repository from here. You can push that repository to cloud, and everything should work smoothly. So whichever method you choose, either you decide to use the terminal or you decide to use the desktop app, everything is just the same thing. Just make sure you understand what you are doing. Make sure you are comfortable with whichever method you select. It is exactly the same thing. Those who work with desktop application and those who use the terminal, it's not like one is better than the other. It's just preference. Whatever works best for you, whatever is easier for you, you can go along with it. I think there is one other thing I would like to show you before we close this session. There are a lot of other things you can do, like there is the issues report, there is the pull request, there are actions, project, wiki, so many other things you can do. I just try as much as possible to limit this to basic things that you need to get yourself started. Now I recommend that you go over the materials you got before concerning Git and try to go over them again and see if it makes more sense now, because you will have a better idea of what those things are. Now what I should show you finally is what I said I was going to show you here. On my profile, I have a message that says welcome here. Now you can see the location of this file. It says it is inside my account. So you create a file inside a folder that has the same name as your profile name, and that will give you this that we have here. So what you do, create a repository. I'm going to say it and expect that you do it. Create a repository, and inside the repository, the name of the repository should be your username, and inside the repository, create a readme file and add any content you want there. So that is what I expect you to do.